In today's video, I attempt to beat Grounded using only my fists. I have three main objectives: collect all BURG.L Chips, beat all bosses, and finally, finish the game. Will I be able to complete the challenge? Before we get into the video, make sure you subscribe. We're currently on 4.5k and I'm trying to hit 5k before the end of the year. I started by making the world. I decided to do this on mild difficulty, as it was the first challenge I had attempted on Grounded 1.0, so I wasn't sure how hard it was going to be. We spawn inside the kids' case, and after Willow eventually stands up, I go and grab a bunch of resources, including mushrooms for food. I grab the granola bars in the field station, and proceed to analyse sap, sprigs, and some plant fibre. I punch a weevil to death, and analyse its meat for the shield recipe. I crafted the pebble axe, punched another weevil, and then made the pebblet hammer. Next, I punched all of the lawn mites on the wires so that I could progress in the story. I killed another weevil and chopped down a grass stem, allowing me to activate the mysterious machine, unlocking BURG.L. I killed a fourth weevil, giving me enough meat for the shield, and then broke some acorns to make more gear. I headed into the Oak Lab and revived BURG.L. After talking to him, I activated the ASL and instantly unlocked the smithing station. I made a crafting table and used it to make a full set of acorn armor. I used a shovel to dig up some grubs to collect grub hide, which I then used to make a weevil shield, meaning I could now block attacks. I took out my first bombardier for a boiling gland and then headed to the coup de grace cave, unlocking tier 1 of the mutation. This was one of the key mutations for success in this challenge. I killed all of the lawn mites on the fallen tree branch, allowing me to unlock tier 1 of Lil Fist, which would further improve my damage and help in this challenge. I found a field station with a couple of granola bars. I also used the analyzer here to scan the bombardier parts to unlock tier 2 tool recipes. I looted a chest, getting 2 meals, and then pulled a lever, activating the surveyor scanner all around the map. I looted another chest, and then got a stink bug part from a web sack. I was blocking so many attacks that I unlocked stages 1 and 2 of Paraly5er. I found 2 more chests, one under the hedge and another in a small lab room. I grabbed the first piece of the password and unlocked tier 2 of Lil Fist. I navigated through the rest of the hedge lab, grabbing the last 3 pieces of the password along the way before scanning my hand and entering the password, allowing me to collect the hedge super chip. Before leaving, I headed to the storage room to grab the silk rope, allowing me to craft a tier 2 insect axe. I also collected the Broodmother BLT recipe. I collected the red anthill BURG.L chip and then killed a couple more bombardiers as I needed boiling glands. I built a drying rack and put some of my newly collected berry chunks on it. I also made more storage. I gave BURG.L the chips we had collected and proceeded to unlock fiber bandage efficiency and the canteen upgrade. I made a smithing station and upgraded my acorn armor to level 1. I killed a ladybug and analysed its parts. While killing another, I unlocked stage 3 of Paraly5er. I killed another 3 ladybugs and then collected my berry leather from the drying rack. I crafted a pebblet dagger and made even more berry leather. I got loads more berry leather as I needed it for a lot of items. I made a gill tube and a tier 2 hammer with some of the berry leather we had collected. I also made a torch because the game kept telling me to make one. I used my new tier 2 hammer to grab some milk molars and increase my max active mutations to 3, meaning I could now use Paraly5er. I used the bioscanner to enter the pond lab and pull the lever. I looted everything in the storage room, obtaining all kinds of useful items, from berry leather to a diving bell spider chunk. I activated all 3 breakers and grabbed the toxicology badge on the way out. This was a mistake as I ended up running out of oxygen and died. My first death was because I ran out of air. I grabbed my stuff and activated the computer in the pond lab. I then took out all of the robots. While relaxing, I was stabbed in the back. I made quick work of this stupid robot for thinking he could get the jump on me. I grabbed the pond super chip and opened up the dome. I made a full set of ladybug armor as it felt time for an upgrade. I then upgraded each piece to level 5. I headed back to the pond to grab the mossy key, allowing me to unlock the sunken chest and collect the BURG.L chip inside, along with a mega milk molar. I collected a milk molar, and then the wolf spider guarding it came back. Luckily, I was able to escape to the water. I headed back to the red ant nest, grabbed the milk molar I had left behind, and grabbed a bunch of red ant eggs. I also found a tier 2 quartzite rock. I used the ant eggs to make a bunch of brat bursts. I used a bomb to break the Haze lab door. I used the bioscanner and then destroyed the robots inside. I pulled the lever and hit the button, putting me in the final room. I beat up the infected ladybug, unlocking Truffle Tussle, making me even more powerful. I used the bioscanner and headed inside to grab the super chip, granola bars, and brat bursts. I headed to the mint box and broke all of the mints, as I would need the shards to unlock fresh defense, making it easier to collect the charcoal later on. I then mustered up the courage to take on my first wolf spider. I was able to defeat him without a scratch. I don't know what I was worried about. This unlocked tier 1 of Mithridatism. Feeling confident, I headed into the oak tree and tried to take on 2 wolf spiders at once. My shield broke mid-fight, so I had to run away before I died, as I had no way of blocking the attacks.
We must flee this place. Run away! Run away! Run away!
With my shield repaired, I headed back and grabbed the Mega Milk Molar and ran away again.
Let's get out of here. Run away! Run away! Run away! Run away!
I used my milk molars to increase my max consumable stack size. I gave BURG.L all of the BURG.L chips we had collected and then unlocked the oven and buff lungs. I used a shortcut to get to the upper yard and then headed to the Java-matic. I glided over to the plant and parkoured up to the top of the box. Once up, I dropped down a bunch of bricks and grabbed the power droplet. To say this increased my power is an understatement. This trinket makes melee compete with regular weapons in the end game of Grounded. Time for a milk molar spree, as I needed a bunch more upgrades. I used a bomb to open up the Black Anthill lab. I used the bioscanner, killed the Tasty, and then activated the computer, gaining clearance level A. I took out the remaining robots and used the ASL to spend my remaining milk molars, gaining an extra mutation slot and increasing my healing by 15%. I wiped the floor with some more Tasties and then gained clearance level B. I collected a Mega Milk Molar and then pushed a button and used a bomb to open up the assistant manager's room. Time to fight the assistant manager. I could tell from the first few combos that this fight wouldn't last long. This just shows how powerful the power droplet is. I didn't even kill all of the other robots in the arena before the assistant manager was dead and the keycard was mine. I grabbed the Black Anthill super chip and headed into the sandbox so I could grab the sandbox BURG.L chip also. I headed back and gave BURG.L the chips we'd collected before spending my raw science unlocking a bunch of upgrade stuff, repair glue, and the cookery. I killed another wolf spider and then headed into the pond to use the assistant manager keycard to unlock a new area, which allowed me to grab the left elf charm and unlock the stump lab. This caused me to take my second death, yet again by drowning.
Hello, how are you? I am under the water. Please help me. Here too much raining.
I used a bomb to break the cracked rock and head to the upper yard. I then headed to the termite nest and began obliterating termites. I made sure I had enough for the axe, as well as extras for repair glue. I collected a couple of milk molars from the nearby ravine and headed to the ladybug area to kill them for tough gunk for the termite axe. I headed to the charcoal springs to collect some ever charcoal. I then headed home and crafted the termite axe and spider fang dagger. I used truffle tussle on a wolf spider to destroy the cracked rock, holding up the leaning shovel. I headed up the shovel and then realised I'd forgotten the key, so I went to grab it using my spider fang dagger. I got to the end of the Minotaur maze and used the termite axe to get tier 2 of coup de grace using the dice. I then used the key to open the chest and grab the picnic BURG.L chip along with all of the other stuff in the chest. Next, I ran around and grabbed a bunch of milk and mega milk molars from all around the map to make even more upgrades. I headed back to the termite nest and used the tier 3 axe to break the splinters. I then took out the termite king and teabagged him for good measure. I grabbed the mega milk molar and the wood-pile chip before heading back to BURG.L to give it to him. I used my milk molars to increase my max active mutations to 5 and also increase my consumable and resource stack size. I built an oven and began cooking the broodmother BLT. I then upgraded my ladybug armor to sleek level 6. I used my clay to build a ramp up to the secret lab. I bombed the door and headed inside to grab the plates from the chest. I crafted a black ant shield and upgraded my armor to level 7. I prepared for the broodmother by equipping the right mutations. Once happy, I summoned her. Time for another boss fight. As she dropped down, I laid into her and I knew the fight was over before it had even begun. The fists were just too powerful. I was busy killing an Orb Weaver Jr., and the Broodmother just died. Sick. This was our second boss killed, and this unlocked the Mom Gene's mutation and gave me some Broodmother parts. Next, I headed to the upper yard into the Milk Molar bottle to grab all 5 milk molars. While in the upper yard, I headed to the Stump lab. I grabbed the Mantis recipe and a milk molar before activating the computer allowing me to get the BURG.L chip. This meant we had completed our first objective of collecting all the BURG.L chips in the game. I punched up a couple of Black Ox beetles as I needed their horns for a hammer. I analysed the Black Ox parts, unlocking level 7 of brain power. I took out another Black Ox beetle, which finally unlocked tier 3 of Lil Fist. It was finally time to try an even harder enemy. If you think fists only isn't good, just look at the damage I'm doing against one of the hardest enemies in the entire game. I got scammed, only getting 1 fang from the Widow. I used the molars to increase my healing, health, and stamina. I made myself a Mask of the Mother Demon and upgraded it all the way to level 8. Since the last Broodmother fight was so easy, I decided to fight it again. Really, I just needed the chunks to make the Mantis kebab. After an easy fight, I managed to get the Broodmother gold card. I grabbed pupa leather from the drying rack and used it to make the Black Ox hammer. I used the hammer to open the back of Wendell's Scabby and put the replacement fuse in. While up here, I collected the toenails from the ashtray as I'd need them for the embiggening cocktail later on. I used the bioscanner and headed into the undershed. While dropping into the sinkhole, I was chased by a Black Ox beetle who really wanted me gone. After dealing with him, it was time to deal with the Black Widow. Safe to say, I absolutely destroyed her and got some venom and fangs. I pulled the lever in the lab, allowing me to get into the Mant area. This was another easy fight in which I destroyed boss number 3 of 5 and claimed my gold card. I used the bioscanner to unlock Dr. Tully and then headed into the fridge to grab the grilled science. I used a bomb to open the Java-matic and put the embiggening cell inside. I used milk molars to increase my healing again and gave BURG.L the stump chip. I upgraded my shovel to tier 2 and then collected some koi scales as I needed them for my embiggening cocktail. When collecting these, I realized I was about to drown again. I needed a plan and fast. I realized I had no Mertine mutation or anything else that could help me. I thought about it and came up with a master plan. I unpaused the game and instantly hit the water jet in the opposite direction. I was able to hit all 3 jets consecutively and make it to the pond lab with 10 seconds to spare. I used the Widow Fangs to make a Widow Spalder and upgraded it to level 4. With my new tier 2 shovel, I headed to the picnic table to collect some gum as I needed 5 parts for the embiggening cocktail. I then headed to the haze and collected a Supreme Marble Rock, allowing me to upgrade my Widow Spalder to Sleek level 8. I built my way into the Moldorc Castle and headed to fight Director Schmechter. Safe to say, this fight was just as easy as all the others, meaning 4 out of 5 bosses had now been beaten. I upgraded my Widow Spalder to level 9, and then it was time for the final boss. This fight was also very easy, and after a while and a bit of lag, I was able to take out the Mantis, meaning we had completed another objective of beating every boss. Now, I just needed to finish the game. I headed to the Java-matic and input the ingredients. I hit the button to begin the process, but quickly realised I'd forgot to bring a repair tool. Since the game doesn't give you one in the storage room, I had to head all the way back home just to craft one. I headed back to the Java-matic and repaired all 3 mixer modules. I then talked to Tully, which unlocked the storage facility, giving me all the resources I would need in order to complete the defense. After a bunch of building, I began the defense. As you can see, I built 3 little houses to protect the mixers. It's also worth noting, this was made in version 1.01 before this was made easier. So this was actually the hardest version of this final defense. I was absolutely steamrolling every enemy with this build, nothing even stood a chance, and after a few minutes, I was able to finish the final defense with none of the mixers taking any damage. I collected the cocktail and put it in the spacer, allowing me to hit the button and embiggen myself. After everything, we managed to get a respectable 66% overall score. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this challenge video. If you did, please leave a like on it, and I'll see you in the next Grounded video.